What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Hindsight is 2020. If you haven't already, please make sure to check out the first couple videos that I made already regarding the first two quads for the Australian Open. Next, I'm going to go through the third quad. I'm not going to waste your time. We're going to get straight to it. First match, Elena Rybakina from Kazakhstan. She's taking on home favorite, or not home. First off, we have Elena Rybakina from Kazakhstan. She's taking on Emerson Jones, the Australian. Elena, she's hoping to bounce back from last year at the Australian Open. She lost in the second round to Anna Blinkova in that 3-set tiebreaker match. That was a crazy match. It was pretty random loss for her, to be honest with you. Probably the biggest win of Blinkova's life. I don't think she's going to be fucking around here. I think she's going to be locked in. Obviously, the odds suggest that. She's 1.0 favorite, massive favorite. I think it's going to be pretty simple, straight sets victory for her. I just don't think that Emerson Jones is going to be able to, keep up with the firepower that Elena is going to have. A few distractions regarding her coach, but I don't think that's going to stop her. I'm sure they're going to talk about it while they commentate the match the entire time. But either way, I still think she comes out with the win. Next match, Nuria Parrizas Diaz taking on Eva Jovic. Nuria, she's coming off that first round loss in Hobart to Mertens. This line is a pick'em. Personally, I think Eva has the skill set to beat her. Like I mentioned before in earlier videos, I don't like backing players when they have not played already this year. You can't just not play. You can't just not play earlier on in the year and then think you're going to show up at a slam and just play out of your mind. Generally, personally, I don't think that's a good recipe for success, and I generally don't think that it's been working out in the past for a lot of players to choose to do that. But I think that the odds for this match are correct. In theory, you would think that Nuria, she's more experienced, she's older. She's played over 600 matches on hard court. Eva's only played 40. You would think that she would have the advantage here, but she makes so many questionable decisions consistently on court. I mean, she's 33. She still does things that the junior players would do, in my opinion. And that's why the odds reflect that. So I'm going to go with Nuria here. I'm going to trust her, give her the benefit of the doubt in my bracket. Go with Eva. I wouldn't bet this match, though, but if I did, I would probably be going with Nuria. Next match on, we have Danka Kovinic. She's from Montenegro. She's taking on Lulu Sun, the New Zealander who made a big push last year. She played really well to end the season. Picked up a lot of big wins. Danka, on the other hand, she's coming back from her injury. She started playing again around the end of November. Played a few matches. She went 2-6 in that stretch, coming back from injury. I don't think she's gonna win this match. I think Lulu's just gonna move too well on court for her. I do think it'll be close. Maybe 7-6, 6-3, 7-5, 6-4. I do think it'll be a close match. Danka's last 5 matches at the Australian Open, she's been a dog, but they've all gone 3 sets. That's after taking that bagel from Ashley Barty. Quick shout out. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Lulu Sun here. I think she's gonna keep pushing on. The crowd's gonna be behind her. She's a little Kiwi, so I know they'll be supporting her heavy. Danka's probably just gonna come in, take the L and earn a quick 70K, go back home. So next match, we got Maya Sharif. She's taking on Diana Yastremka. This is going to be an interesting match. Maya Sharif, she is a slight underdog to Yaz. I think that's because this would be her second match of the year, while Yastrzemka, she's already started the season in Australia. She played in Brisbane, lost in the second round there, and then lost in the quarterfinals to the eventual champion, Mia Kessler. I think Yaz has been playing well to start the season. She's pretty hit and miss on most occasions, in my opinion, but I think she's been playing really well recently, and I think that she should win this match. I just think that Maya Sharif, she's just getting her feet wet on hard court now. She has about 150 matches on hard court now, because she's predominantly a clay player. For Yastrzemka, the thing about her is last year she made it to the semifinal. She lost to Q, so I think that's also what's being priced into this. But to me, generally, she's not the most reliable player. The line is short, which makes me think that the match is going to go 3 sets, or I'd probably play the over. But I still think that she should beat Maya. Then again, if she did lose, though, would not be surprised, because, like I said, she can lose to anyone. Maya Sharif, 3 straight first-round losses at the Australian Open. So she must not like it here. But, she's generally a clay player, so that's where she excels at. Next match, we have Madison Keys taking on Ann Lee, tennis champ. Keys, huge favorite now. She's 1.3 now. She's 1.1. She's coming off that title, and she just beat Jessica Pegula in Adelaide for her first title of the year. She's in really good form. She should smoke Ann Lee. The flight from Adelaide, she had to fly over there yesterday. Melbourne's about an hour and a half. I'm sure they're celebrating a little bit, winning the title. But I do think that she should win the match. She's the much better player, much better server. From time to time, she does make questionable decisions. But I don't see her losing this match. She hasn't lost a first-round match at the Australian Open since 2012. She's gone, a third round or better in every single instance outside of that 2012 stint. So I think we're going to go Madison Keys here for a bracket. Line is too wide for us to bet on it, so we're just going to move on from that. Ann Lee, every match she's played at the Australian Open, all except one. She's played 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 matches at the Australian Open. They've all, or 13 out of 14 have ended straight sets. So depending on how Keys comes in looking, I think that's going to be the case once again. Next match, we have Irina Begu out of Romania. She's taking on fellow countrywoman Elena Gabriel Rus. This intrigue is a short line where it's like, I think personally, if they're playing on clay, I would take Begu, because I think she's the better clay player. But since they're playing on hard court, and also Rus had already played in qualifiers, she only dropped 1 set to Friedem. I'm going to go with Rus here. I think she's been playing a lot better recently. And Begu's, I don't like backing her on hard court ever, really. And she's pretty much lost in the first or second round of the Australian Open every single time she's been here for the past 12 years. It's kind of like Maya Sharif. She more focuses on clay season, so I don't think that this is going to be a tournament where she's going to put in her best effort. With that being said, Gabriela Rus, this is only her second time being on the main draw in the Australian Open. The previous time she was here, all her matches ended in straight sets, so I would say she wins in straight sets today and continues the trajectory that she was on during qualifiers. Next match, let's see here, who we got here. Greet Minen out of Belgium. She's playing Destiny Ivia, the Australian. Last time they played, I watched her matchup in Toronto. Minen took that matchup. I think that she's going to have a little bit of a tougher time today, just because Destiny is a lot better a year later than she was last time Greet played her, and also she's playing in Australia. I know she'll be extremely motivated. I've noticed that the line for some of these Aussie matches, they're 1.5, 2.5, where the Aussie is the dog. Ivia already played through qualifiers. I think her serve is going to be strong. I think she's going to give Menen a lot of issues. I do think Menen obviously has more experience. She's an older player, but playing in Australia, I don't think that she's gonna. I can't say I wouldn't bet this. I wouldn't bet on her. If I was gonna bet this match, I would bet on Destiny. 3 years in a row now, she made it, or she played through qualifiers. Each year she stepped. First year she lost in the first round qualifiers. Second year, last year she lost in the second round. Or 2022 she lost in the first round qualifiers. 2023 she lost in the second round. Last year she lost in the third round qualifiers, and then this year finally she's gonna make it back to the main draw, and I think she's gonna be extremely motivated. She's been playing a lot better lately, and I think she could definitely absolutely take a set off of Greet Menen. That I think can absolutely happen. So and easily win the match. These are the exact same odds that she beat Ava Lease as last match. Exact same odds, 1.5, 2.5. So I think that I would not be surprised if she won this match. So I'm going to pick her to go on through to the next round. Next up, we have Daria Singer. She's taking on Danielle Collins. Singer, she's an interesting player. She plays predominantly a lot of ITF. I don't think that she's. I think that I don't think she's the most mobile player. The only issue is Danielle. This is her second match of the season. She's played 2 matches since. She's played 2 matches since Guadalajara, and I just don't think she has a lot of match time. But I mean, she is the better player. She played Anja Burr really well. They went to a tiebreaker, and then after she lost that tiebreaker, she kind of just didn't exert that much energy after that. So even though Daria did play in qualifiers, maybe she, it's a first set with a high total, and then after Danielle takes control. But I just think that she's the better. I think Danielle Collins is the better player. She should win this match. She said she came back to tennis for one last hurrah. So she's never lost in the first round of the Australian Open. She's been here 6 times. I don't expect her to start today. I'm going to go Danielle Collins with my pick for the next round. Next match, we have Beatriz Haddad Maia. She's taking on Julia Riera out of Argentina. Haddad Maia, she's a heavy favorite. This line I don't necessarily agree with. I do think Haddad Maia is the better player, but I wouldn't back her at 1.1 odds. That's around like minus 500 for Americans watching. I don't think that's the right price at all. Julia Riera, she's played through 3 rounds of qualifiers. She has dropped a set in 2 out of those 3 matches, which I don't necessarily love. It shows that you're undisciplined and you can't play complete matches. But Beatriz Haddad Maia, on the other hand, I don't know what's been going on with her. She's a very streaky player. When she's hot, she's hot. When she's cold, she's fucking cold. And right now, she's cold. She's lost 3 matches in a row. Just not looking like a complete player, in my opinion. Her last 5 matches here, 3 of them have gone 3 sets. In my opinion, if you're betting a Beatriz Haddad Maia match, you should always bet the over, in my opinion, especially when the line is this low as it is right now. Let's take a look here. It is 19.5. I think this match is going to go over. I think Julia Riera can absolutely take a set off of Bia Haddad Maia. And last year, even when she had the same scenario last year, even when she lost in qualifiers last year, she took a set in that match as an underdog. So I would play the over here, maybe, and Julia Riera to take a set. I want to pick her to win a match, but I know Bia is a much better server than she is. So even if she drops a set, I would still see her going on in the next round. I don't think she's going to lose. So I'm going to go Bia for my pick. But betting-wise, I would probably go Riera, whatever the spread is, or take the over on that. Next match, we have Erica Andreeva. She's taking on Sai Zhang. Not Shuai Zhang. Sai, she's predominantly a doubles player. She's lost 9 of her last 10 matches. She has, she'll play hard, but not as hard as now Habino or anything like that. I think Erica Andreeva, she should come out here and smoke her. But the thing about Erica is that, I don't necessarily love backing her, especially at big prices, because I know at some point she's always going to drop a set. You know, she's going to drop a set. It doesn't matter. The only thing that's going to save her here, though, is that for Saisei, she's played 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 matches at the Australian Open. 10 of those matches have ended in straight sets. She's also lost in the first round in every single one except 2 of them. So I think it's going to be the Erica Andreeva show. I think she's going to win the match in straight sets and move on. So, you know, especially last year, she lost in second round of qualies. So, and she lost as a big favorite last year. That's another reason. Again, here last year she's a 1.2 favorite against Polina Kudermetova, and she lost that match. So, she's not someone I like backing at a huge price, but I do think that she should win the match. Her opponent is weak enough where I believe that she should be at an advantage. Next, speaking of Kudermetova, we have her sister, Veronica, her older sister. She's taking on Olivia Gadecki, the Australian. Olivia, she's on a 4-match losing streak right now. All of them, she's lost in straight sets. And I don't like that for her coming in here, especially because, you know, generally if she would have played qualies, or I would have leaned her way. But, you know, even though Veronica has lost, did lose her last match in Burns, I like what I was seeing. I feel like she's cleaned up on her serve a little bit. She needs to still do better about some of the decision making that she makes on court. But I do think that she should end up coming out with a victory. I would not bet this match just because, again, hard rule on not wagering against players when they're playing in their home country. But I do think Veronica should come out the victor in this match. I mean, she's the more experienced player. More decorated. Olivia, she's lost in the first round of qualifiers in every single stint that she's had at the Australian Open. In 6 matches, she's 5 out of the 6 matches she's lost in straight sets. So I think that I think that might be the case again today, because, you know, my policy is pretty simple. If you drop a set, you're gonna lose. And for Veronica, all of her wins here at the Australian Open, every single one that I'm taking a look at right now, except for one match against Gracheva 4 years ago. If she wins, it's in straight sets. So when she drops a set, she generally loses. So that's all I have to say about that. Next match we have Rebecca Marino. She's taking on Katie Bolter. Katie Bolter has a 2-0 head-to-head against her. She's not played since that controversial Egan match. She lost at the United Cup. I think that these are both women who are both really good servers. On the other hand, I just think Katie Bolter is the better server of the two, and I also just think she moves better on court. And if the courts are going to be at the speed that I think that they are, then I think that she's going to have the advantage. And I think that she should move on to the next round. Let's take a look at some things here. In addition to that, you know, Rebecca Marino, she's lost in the first round here. She's had 9 appearances at the Australian Open. She's lost in the first round in all of them except for once in 2021. So I would say Katie Bolter to move on to the next round, probably winning in straights. That would be my prediction. Next match, we have Alina Svitolina out of the Ukraine. She's taking on Sorona Cirstea. Cirstea, it's going to be her second match of the year. She lost her previous match to Namir. She's lost 7 matches in a row. This is her second match since Wimbledon. I believe she's coming back from an injury. Svitolina, obviously, she's a 3-0 head-to-head. I just think right now Svitolina is just the much better player. I just didn't like what I saw from Cirstea in her previous match against Jules Namir. I'm not sure she's like currently fit. She could probably give Svi a hard time. I just don't see her winning the match. I just think Svitolina is a better player. She's 1.3 odds. You know, she's a good solid parlay piece. I personally don't see her losing this match at all. So, see, next match here we have Sarah Bezliak out of the Czech Republic. She's taking on Caroline Dolahide out of America. Dolahide, this is her first match all year, so I think it's going to be interesting to see how this goes. Prior to this, she'd always played in qualifiers. Like the last 5 years, she played in qualifiers every single year here. So it was interesting to me that this year she decided not to even play here at all. Sarah, on the other hand, she's been playing a lot better. Last 2 years, she also played qualifiers. Lost in the first round in both of those instances. Lost to Craig and Leylah Fernandez, which aren't bad losses. I think she's going to get the win today. I think she might struggle with Caroline Dolahide's serve a little bit because she is a better server of the two. But I just think that she'll be less rusty, and for someone who hasn't played in like 2 months an official match, I just think that you can't lose to someone like that. You have to come out, get the job done. 3 matches, she only dropped 1 set. So I think she's going to come out with the win. I'm going to take her on the pick'em line, and I think she's going to get the job done. Maybe Caroline surprises. Her serve always gets her out of a lot of trouble, but I think she ends up losing this match. Next match, we got Taylor Townsend, OG. She has not played yet this year. She hasn't played since the Billie Jean Cup. She's taking on Renata Zarazua, which I think is going to be It's going to be a little bit of a difficult match for her. She has a 3-0 head-to-head. 2 of them on clay. So I find it a bit interesting that the line is short for someone who hasn't played all year. Zarazua, she's not had a bad year so far. She's 3-3. Just losses to Mertens, who ended up going to the finals in Hobart. And she lost to Sabalenka. So not bad losses. Taylor hasn't played this year. In the end, I know Taylor is a much better server, without a doubt, than Zarazua, and she's a lefty, and that's going to give you a lot of troubles. My only problem for Taylor is that she hasn't played all year. I don't know what her conditioning is going to be like. I don't know if she's going to be rusty on serve. How that fly-in coming from Australia, like Renata, she's already played 2 tournaments in Australia, so she's been there for the past 2 weeks. So I think that she's already comfortable with the courts, so I think she'll be prepared for the match. I just don't know if she'll have the full skill set to pull it off. Her last 5 matches, 4 out of her last 5 matches, Renata Zarazua at the Australian Open, they've gone 3 sets. So, Taylor Townsend last year, she's coming off, that upset of Paula Badosa. So maybe she wants to, piggyback off of that success, but in all of her appearances at the Australian Open, she's had 7 of them. She's lost in the first round in 5 of them. So I would be careful backing Taylor Townsend today. She might win in surprise, but like I said earlier, I don't love backing players who've lost earlier in the year, or I don't like backing players who have not played earlier in the year. So I'm gonna go with Zarazua. Get her first win. System play, she's lost 3 matches in a row. I think Zarazua first set, that might not be a bad bet. But we'll see. We'll follow up on that. Lastly, last match, Xu Wei, Xia Wei. She's out of China. She's won 8 out of her last 10 matches. She's been going crazy. 2 of them in 3 sets though, but she's going to be up next for China. I love the way she plays. She has this never die attitude. She's 21, so she's going for all her shots. It doesn't matter to her. Last year, she lost some qualifiers in the 3rd round, so I'm sure she's super motivated to make it to the official draw this year. I think Jasmine Paolini, it's going to be a tough match. She's going to create a tough match for her, but I just don't. Prior to last year, people forget Jasmine Paolini. She lost in the first round of the Australian Open 4 years in a row. And before that, she lost in the qualifiers 3 years in a row. So 7 years in a row, they were just losing in the first round or worse. And then last year, she made it to the round of 16. So she has points to defend. So I know she's going to be motivated. I think she's been working on her forehand a lot this offseason. So I'm really excited to see what comes out of that. So I think Jasmine's gonna win, but I wouldn't bet on it, especially at short odds. 1.1. Maybe if it's a close set, you could take her alive, but I don't think that it's a good idea to back her at a 1.1 price. But if she's gonna win, it's gonna be in straight sets. But like I said, don't love fading players who played in qualifiers against players who have not played officially yet this year. That should be it, guys. Thanks for watching. Please make sure to like, subscribe, share this with your friends. I will be doing a lot more videos in the next coming days about the rounds. Obviously, as there less matches, I'll be able to go more in depth on more of them. So thanks for watching. Thanks, and have a good day.